What's up, everybody? This is Ty and this is the Mighty, and today we're going to be reviewing this BMW i3. Hope I got you there. So let's do a quick walk around this thing. BMW i3 is an electric vehicle. It starts off at about $45,000 before rebates. You get rebates for this thing because if you drive an electronic car, you get a tax rebate. This is a 4-door vehicle. 4 doors. Can you spot the 4 doors on this vehicle? Probably not, but I'll show you where the 4 doors are. It's got those trick, cool suicide doors. Look at that. So you can fit small things in the back seat of this. The engine of this vehicle is actually underneath. It's not in the front, and I'll show you that also. Pop the hood here. Okay, so we pop the hood, and now the engine. Not much of an engine, really. You can get to some of the fluids here, but this is the charger and the battery pump for the vehicle. This thing has a carbon fiber hood, frame, which is pretty lightweight for a car that is still quite heavy. So let's check out the interior. So let's check out the interior of this thing. If you notice, the blind spots are really bad in here, and that's normally the case when you have cars with suicide doors. The interior has a cool theme to it, cool little look. A lot of this blue going on the inside of the car. Seat backs and everything. But the interior is very cheap. This is all recycled material. It's very hard. This is kind of soft, but it's not a lot of padding. It's maybe like a quarter of an inch of padding, if that. Airbags on the pillars. This is the glove box. Look at that. There's space for stuff in there, believe it or not. Your air conditioning unit has heated seats. And then the system that you use to control everything is here. Now, it's kind of annoying to use when you're driving because, for one, every now and then, if you're not used to the system, you have to look down and navigate everything. But since we're in park, or since the car's off right now, it's not going to do too much. So let's go into starting this car. So starting the i3, put your foot on the brake, hit the start-stop button, and it starts beeping at you. You got to put your seatbelt on. This car does not like you to not be safe. Seatbelt's on, and there's your dashboard. Okay, it's about the size of an iPad mini. Nothing in here is touchscreen. There's no touchscreen anything. Everything's manual. Okay, everything is manual for the most part. So to go put this thing in drive, you want to flip this controller here forward to drive. Let your foot off the brake. One thing I want to talk about too is the size of the brake pedal. It's tiny. Okay, and I'm in drive right now. There's no parking brake on, and this thing won't move until you put your foot on the gas. When you take your foot off the gas in this thing, it starts to slow down to a stop because it's charging the battery. So we're gonna go forward. And I want to show you something that's kind of cool about this. It has reverse sensors, so you can not run into things when you're backing up because the visibility is not that great. You want to go into reverse, switch this down to reverse, and the camera, the mirror moves down so you can see behind you a little bit better. And I'm going to purposely go towards a pole so you can see the sonar. See that? Pretty cool. So now we're off and driving. Like I kind of said before, the visibility is pretty good out of the front, kind of horrible out of the back. And I have to sit my seat way back so I'm not sitting right on top of the steering wheel. It's very quiet until you start to slow down with your foot off the pedals. See, I'm going to come to a complete stop here, no foot on anything. I'm going to take off again. It sounds like a Jetson car. Like, you really feel like when you start driving this thing, it's like it's 2017 and we're driving electronic vehicles now. The range on this thing is about 120 miles. It can go further if you opt for a gas hybrid engine, which will extend your range. One thing that kind of scares me about electric vehicles, and I'm sure there's a lot of folks, is when you start getting to that point where you're like, oh crap, I need to stop and charge up. If you're in the middle of nowhere, where are you going to charge? And to charge this thing completely takes 3 hours. So you can't even knock out a trip to Las Vegas in this thing without stopping for a 3-hour pit stop for juice, which is a little annoying. Very annoying, actually. I think I can actually make it to Las Vegas in my Charger on one tank of gas if I don't drive like an idiot. And this thing has different modes for driving. So you have your comfort mode, which we're in now, and then you have your Eco Pro mode, which turns off AC and it limits your top speed to about 54 miles an hour. As far as horsepower goes in this thing, it doesn't use horsepower as a rate. It just rates the power of the engine, which is probably equivalent to something that I wouldn't know. I gotta look it up to tell you, because I don't even know anything about electric cars. So, pretty good visibility out of the side. The speed limit on this street is about 40. We're gonna keep it well below that. We're actually gonna cut back onto the city street here, or side street, because I don't like driving on the public street. And I'm gonna let this guy go past me because he seems like he's in a bit of a hurry. Fucking douchebag. Anyway, so here we go on the street again. The ride is very comfortable despite the skinny, tall tires. It's very easy to drive. There's no learning curve besides starting and stopping and switching from drive to park and reverse to neutral and all that kind of stuff. So with this car, the speed limit again on this street is about 25 miles an hour. So we'll go from a slow speed to that speed limit. And it does it relatively quick. It's like a Jetson kind of noise to it too. I keep saying Jetson because that's the only thing I can think of when it comes down to the sound this thing makes. It's a very comfortable car. However, the seats are really thin and long trips in this thing would not be that fun because I've run around the corner literally and it's already starting to get a little uncomfortable for me. I'm about 6 foot tall, like I said, and the seat is back as far as it'll go, and the seats are very thin and kind of hard. For $45,000, you would expect it to be a little bit more comfortable. But the interior is still very quiet. The only thing that I'm honestly hearing besides the whirl of the engine, or whatever you want to call it, if it is an engine, is the road noise. So tire noise is what I'm hearing over that. It's a very quiet car. So let's go ahead and wrap up our test. So the place where I work, if you can't tell by now, you're not a very bright person. and I'm still not gonna say, but we have to take a class on how to drive these things. So right now it's in drive. We're gonna hit this button to go into park. We're gonna pull the electronic brake. My foot is on the pedal, and you're gonna hear a whoosh kind of noise once that e-brake comes on. And the brake pedal slacks in. And to turn this thing off, we hit the start stop button. Pretty cool. Okay, so quick walk around this thing. We have all the doors open, so you can see how it is a 4-door vehicle. Really easy entry. Again, I'm 6 foot tall, and this is me in the back seat. There's no space, and I have to sit with my legs far apart. It only seats 4, because you got cup holders in the middle. Oh, God, tiny. Once again, let's check out these tires. Look how skinny that is. I've never seen a car with tires that skinny. I'm actually palming the entire tire. Really tall rims. It's not a hubcap, that's actually aluminum. Let's shut all these doors. Let's check out the trunk. If you can call it a trunk, look at that. You can maybe fit a gym bag back there, that's about it. But people who drive these probably have yoga mats, so I guess you're good. So that is basically it on the i3. So expect to see more of these patrolling your area. This is the Mighty, and that is the BMW i3.